Good morning, this is XFM, this is Josh Widdicombe, and that is Doves. Hello, how are we? Good? Yeah, that's that done. Let's play a song. Good morning, producer Neil.
Good morning, Josh Widdicombe.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any good week? You've been flooded. Let's cut to the chase.
I personally haven't been flooded, but the town of Reading...
I didn't mean... you can't personally flood yourself. You haven't personally been flooded. That's not what's happening.
No, personally.
When Paul Daniels has been flooded, he's not personally flooded. He's not just taken on too much water.
You know what I meant. No, but Reading and Berkshire.
It'd be good though if he'd taken on too much water, wouldn't it?
Why?
Well, no, just Did you see Jon Snow interview him?
No.
This is insensitive. You go to a man's house who's just been flooded. He said, "Of course, if you were for real, you'd be able to magic this away." I don't think that's hard, is it?
That's a bit harsh from Snow, yeah.
And Paul Daniels said it's my night off, which put him right up in my opinion. Obviously, I know you've got strong connections with the Daniels household, so we'll move on.
But no, it's I get the train from Reading to Paddington each day, so it's a bit of a nightmare at the moment with the signalling problems.
So is Reading flooded?
There are areas near the river that's a bit touch and go.
I mean, obviously the floods are terrible. They have taught me quite how long the Thames is.
Okay, good.
I didn't realise quite how long the Thames was.
It's massive, mate.
I thought it was classic Londonite in that I presumed it did most of its best work within the M25, but it turns out, it does the provinces as well.
Such a river snob.
Such a river snob. So I'm glad you've survived.
Thanks.
Have you got wellies?
Yeah.
I'll say you'll be fine. And has your small baby got tiny little wellies?
No, not yet. She can't walk.
She can't walk.
So she just gets carried
You'd have to put her on a little lilo.
That'd be quite good fun.
That would be quite good fun. Oh, I think being a baby would be quite good fun. The bit I've always thought that looks the best fun is if you're in a pram and it's raining and you have the plastic over. That looks brilliant fun.
Okay.
No?
Well, I'm sure it is. I don't know. If there's anyone out there that can make an adult-sized pram for Josh.
Yeah. Before we move on, one more thing I found out just before we went on air, is that you have a collection of sound effects that you've never told me about. That excited me a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, did you not have to apologise?
Well, no, they're for other shows that I produce.
Are they?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What shows are they for? They're comedy sound effects.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Who are you producing? The goodies? There's, to give you an idea, listeners, there's one called Tape Rewind. Do you know what that reminds me of? In the ITV chart show on a Saturday morning, and you'd be worried whether they were going to fast forward or rewind. They'd always fast forward the one you wanted to listen to, and then you'd always have to listen to the whole of like a single by Marty Pellow or something. So there's Tape Rewind, there's harp, there's buzzer, there's quiz organ. Can we have quiz organ? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The day that stops being top-level entertainment, I am going to kill myself. I'm going to set you a challenge. I want you to get 3 of these in, but in the right area. Like, you've got to get them in so they're needed in the show at some point.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel about particularly the one called barbecue sausage? That does excite me. Don't press that now. Just surprise me. Because it's 32 seconds long.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
As we like to, at the start of a show, we reference back to last week's show, because we struggle to move on. Any Other Business is the section in which listeners... Why do I keep trying to call them readers? I'm never really going to get over that.
Don't know.
No. It's not like I've, got... We'll move on. Please don't make that part of Any Other Business next week, anyone. That doesn't count. The new rule on Any Other Business is you can't do an Any Other Business about the performance of me or you during Any Other Business.
No, you can't have rules like that, no.
I've just made that rule, mate. Are you overruling?
I'm overruling.
Unbelievable. Well, let's see how you do with the Any Other Business. We've got 3 this week. I'd say a strong week, Neil.
Yes.
So, these are listeners' pedantic complaints about the show. If you have any, do email us on the website. And producer Neil will use all his power to either uphold them or overrule them.
Yes.
So, number 1, Neil. Dear Josh and producer Neil, how are you feeling so far about it?
Strong.
Strong, yeah, good start. I'm just writing to inform you that at the beginning of last week's show, you inferred from your Lemsip stroke Barocca conversation that it was possible to get different brands of Lemsip. This is incorrect, as Lemsip is in itself a brand name of paracetamol and phenylephrine, and many generic versions of this mixture are available from all good pharmacists. Thanks, Tony, with an I. Kiss. You're giving that a yes straight away. We're not even up. I was up for discussing that one. I thought, why are you? Well, show your workings, Neil. Like it's your maths GCSE.
I just agree with everything Tony with Nia said.
Do you think? Because you not think Lemsip?
No, Lemsip's a brand name. Yeah, so there aren't going to be.
Yeah, so other brands are available.
Yeah,
other brands of paracetamol.
Yeah. Have I got this wrong?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I feel like if someone, I'm going to have to abandon the rule that you can't any other business about any other business because we need someone to any other business about this any other business next week.
Yeah.
Any other business?
Any other business. This is Route 66.
I feel like we're going to start singing Any Old Iron in a minute. Any other business? Anyway, hello, Josh. I'm producer Neil. Long-time listener, first-time Any Other Business raiser.
Oh, strong start.
Strong start. Already singing from our hymn sheet. In response to Sophie Brannan's Any Other Business in last week's show, open brackets, Food Network stroke Food Network UK,
yep,
close brackets, Josh stated, I would argue that if you're watching Breaking Bad on whatever channel it's on in the UK, you wouldn't say you're watching HBO. 2 points here. Number one. The complete Breaking Bad is only available via on-demand streaming service Netflix in the UK, which is not a channel in the traditional sense. Open brackets, though I've just read that seasons 1 and 2 were broadcast in graveyard slots on FX and 5 USA. Closed brackets. It's good that another great business decision by 5 USA jumping off the Breaking Bad bandwagon after 2 seasons. Don't think this is going to catch on.
Never.
No. Point 2. The show is made by the US cable channel AMC, not premium cable network HBO. Sorry to raise these minor points. Keep up the otherwise good work, Ian.
They sound like factual things that Ian said, and also it's quite in-depth. I think he needs to do more with his life, so let's free him from any other business and say...
Correct. 100%. I think I'm going to say that is textbook. Textbook any other business, though.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, of course, a missive from my dad, who has ended it, sent from my iPhone, rather cockily.
Yeah, showing off.
Actually, I don't think he has. I think that's because I emailed this to you from my iPhone.
Oh, yeah.
Although he has got an iPhone, so maybe.
Catch up, Josh's dad.
Josh. Unlucky, Neil. May I take this opportunity to congratulate you and producer Neil on the increase of farming content on the show. I'm really looking forward to hearing James Acaster, that is, James's views on the many issues that we as fellow farmers have to deal with on a daily basis. In my view, developing the agricultural theme in combination with the indie electro music is surely going to be a bit of a winner. Dad. What are your feelings on that? The problem is we haven't got James Acaster this week. He's away. So Ivo Graham, who is replacing him, I don't think will have ever been on a farm.
No, not
unless it was on a hunt.
or a hunt, yeah. I have to say, sadly for your dad, Josh.
Oh, why are you overruling?
Just because I don't think farming talk is that strong in the XFM demographics. We might be dropping it.
Unbelievable.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
The Queens of the Stone Age there on XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe. Here right now.
The Queens?
The Queens of the... Oh, it's just Queens of the Stone Age, isn't
Queens.
it? Yeah. And, well, let's not get involved in the debate.
The great band.
Great band. Although, you know, was it the, or was it just the? No, it was the. No, it was the. I mean, I'm just saying. Doves. Just Doves. Pixies. Just Pixies. Correct on both counts, and that is why you work at XFM. It's 10:33. We've actually, I think this is slightly earlier than usual. We're making good time today. Yeah, we need to make good time. All right, well, let's not waste time discussing the fact we're making good time, but genuinely, I mean, we've blown 16 seconds on discussing that we've made good time. I'm watching the clock. It's another 3 gone. There's 2. Is this radio? That's the question. So we've made good time. Finally, we've got here to the point where just 33 and 33 seconds into the show, We are discussing the topics we want to discuss today. Number one, we want your texts on, and remember 83936 or XFM. We want them on. Number one, weird or creepy things you have seen written or drawn or whatever in a card. Repeat that again. Weird / creepy things in a card. So this comes obviously from Valentine's Day. Did you receive a Valentine's card?
I did, yeah. Yeah.
Who from?
My wife.
Did you not get mine?
No.
Did you get me one?
No.
Well, there we go. It's, our relationship is on the rocks. I mean, I didn't send one, but I was hoping someone might have sent you one, pretending to be me. And then I could have kind of just rode off the back of it. And was it a nice card you received from your wife?
It was lovely, yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. I've got an amazing story on this, but I'm not sure I can say it on the radio. All I'm going to say is, my friend used the phrase in a card. No, I can't say it.
Well, let's talk about it during the next song, and then we might be able to talk about it after.
Yeah, okay. It's not that it's rude. It's just I fear he won't be listening.
We don't play his type of music.
He used the phrase "bun in the oven."
Oh,
yes. Hopefully next year you'll have a bun in the oven.
That sounds more like a threat than a.
So if you've received a Valentine's card that is as bad as that, then
or just any card, birthday.
Any card. Oh yeah, any card, birthday. I don't know why they have the message pre-written in there anyway.
No.
Because if no one finds that meaningful. You know, when you open it up and it already says Merry Christmas, I could work that one out. If you've bought that card and you can't work out that's what you should write in it, no one is. Thank God for that. It says Merry Christmas. And also, you write Neil and then already say Merry Christmas, Josh. You can see that that's not my handwriting. You can see that's printed. You can see I don't mean it. Correct?
Correct.
All it does is mean that when you buy the wrong type of card, you're lumbered. I think we should start... we're not a campaigning show, but if we start a campaign for nothing to be written in cards...
Well, some cards offer that service.
I know, but I think it should be a blank... If I was Prime Minister, that would be the first thing that I've introduced a blanket ban on writing already being cards when you buy them.
I'm so glad you're never going to be elected to office.
I wouldn't run on that ticket. Subject 2. We both think it might be half term, don't we?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe.
Or it's going to be soon.
So, a subject we're just going to call sleepover stories. Any stories about sleepovers. Will that do?
Yeah.
Why do we... It should be... I think half term might be next week.
Okay.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
As always, producer Neil is, pressing the buttons. Failing to get in any of the required 3 sound effects I've demanded of him this morning. Time is marching, Neil. At 1 an hour, that is the ratio, and you...
No pressure.
No pressure. You're cool as a cucumber. But new ruling, you can't do more than 1 in a link, by the way. You can't just do all 3 in a row.
That's fine.
You can't do sizzling sausage, followed by doorbell, followed by ghost. Ghost isn't one, but it would be a good one.
Okay.
For next week, I want a ghost sound effect. Right. We are talking about 2 things this morning, Neil. Number 1, sleepover stories. Number 2, weird things you've seen in a card, received in a card, or written. What is it? When have you I think when have you really messed up writing in a card is also a really good area. Mm-hmm. And I imagine our guests, John Robbins and Ivo Graham, not Ellis James, he couldn't make it because he's busy acting, pretending to be an 18-year-old. Yeah, seriously.
Good makeup department.
You what?
Good makeup department.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture very soon. Things you've received in a card. Budley has tweeted. Not that it's more about the content than the method, as we always say.
Yep.
Do you agree?
Yep.
Good. Someone at my old work sent 5 cards to girls with little adult sketches in them. # gross misconduct.
Ah.
I like that. I think that hashtag needs to catch on.
What did you put in them?
Little adult sketches. There's your sound effect. Very good. Are we going to allow that one? We are. Although, from now on, Neil, you can't make me repeat.
I did play it. It just wasn't loud enough.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, it says a lot about you, doesn't it?
Anyway.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
This is XFM on a Saturday morning. This is Josh Widdicombe, joined by producer Neil.
Good morning.
Now, we come to the point in the morning which Neil has named
Nishipedia.
Yes, the comedian Nish Kumar, fan of conspiracy theories, not believer, just fan. Each week, bring us a conspiracy theory, which Neil will decide whether it is true or false. And good morning, Nish.
Good morning, or is it?
And he has a catchphrase, I forgot to say that. You might have just heard it. So, Nish.
You'll all have heard it by now. By this point, you'll all be wearing it on your T-shirts. People in the NSA will be catching on. It's like The Wire. The insiders will find it more funny than anyone else.
So, what have you got for us today, Nish?
Josh, this one is the most complex plot we've ever come across.
Okay, so shall I sit back and let you take us through it?
Sit back and let this wash over you like a nonsensical bubble bath. Dinosaurs control the media.
Hey, that is amazing.
Right, there's the backstory to this.
That's no way to refer to the top brass at the BBC.
That is a Widdicombe burn. Yeah. So this conspiracy theory is essentially that so humans have only lived on Earth for a certain number of time. Dinosaurs lived on Earth way longer. So the logic behind this is that dinosaurs were obviously way more evolved, and that they didn't become extinct. They actually fled when the Earth's temperature started dropping on a spaceship to a different planet. They returned, and in that time on the planet, they developed technology that enabled them to be disguised as humans. They've infiltrated human society and are causing global warming by propagating myths about it in the media.
Wow. So, can I just check, these dinosaurs, are they anything to do with the David Icke 12-foot lizards?
This is a completely separate...
Right,
this is somebody who's gone rogue from Icke.
Who thinks Icke's a bit straight down the line?
Basically, if Icke's too mainstream for you... And so, the first thing that pops into your head is if dinosaurs control the media, there's a lot of groups worry about their portrayal in the media. Dinosaurs surely are the worst portrayed group in the media.
Do you think?
Oh. Yeah. They come off pretty badly.
Yeah,
They're pretty much always in films. But so, someone has addressed this, the Jurassic Park theory, and talked about how Jurassic Park was actually before dinosaurs returned to Earth.
Oh, I see.
But The Lost World, if you watch The Lost World, a lot of the time the dinosaurs only kill people when they've been provoked and are otherwise friendly to humans. Michael Crichton has been possessed by a velociraptor and has had a change of heart about dinosaurs between writing Jurassic Park and The Lost World. It's a genuinely awful film.
Is it? Yeah.
It's imagine Jurassic Park with all the things you loved about it taken out.
Right, yeah, of course. So, some questions. Which planet did they go to?
Again.
Not specified.
Yeah, not specified. Right. There's a lot of these things. Josh, these people
does that mean that famous people are dinosaurs?
Miley Cyrus is almost certainly a brachiosaur. That's if you look at.
I bet she was a bit brachiosaur after riding that wrecking ball.
Oh, Josh, if Katie Hopkins could have heard that joke, she would completely change her opinion about you.
So, wow. So the Flintstones, they come out of that quite well, don't they?
Yeah. Now, that's the sort of thing, that's where the conspiracy starts to fall down, sort of thing.
The Flintstones was post-Jurassic Park.
Actually, the Flintstones cartoon, you're right, it was pre-Jurassic Park, and they do seem to come off well, but you're not taking into account the narrative. Dinosaurs are servants of people in that.
Oh, yeah,
that is a narrative that enforces the idea that dinosaurs work for people, whereas in fact it's the other way around. And no community is more furious about the Flintstones than the dinosaur community.
Wow, that is an astonishing one. I mean, Neil, do you think that's true? Do you think Global Radio, the owners of XFM, are being controlled by a dinosaur?
I'm not going to make a joke about dinosaurs being in charge of British radio because I value my career. Yeah. So no, this is not true.
It's not true. Well, there you go. Sorry, Nish. It's been rejected.
Well, Neil is obviously an instrument of the dino media axis.
Yeah, he's for Matthew Bannister.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Galvanise the Chemical Brothers coming up in the next 2 hours of the show. We are joined by a new XFM signing, John Robbins, who will be co-hosting a show 10 to 1 on Sunday morning. But he is late. Not only did he fail to get a train due to the train problems, fair enough. It's not like they've been in the news. He then texted to say, got on the train to Bedford by mistake. He said it should be there in 15 minutes. You could do a feature about times people have accidentally gone to Bedford. Cannot wait to hear his show on a Sunday morning.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Here he is, Mr. John Robbins. Hello.
Hello there.
I've just realised the way you've sat, we've managed to put a screen between our faces, so it's like we're...
There we go.
It's like we're lovers, and the Berlin Wall is between us.
The LCD Berlin Wall.
The LCD Berlin Wall. That was the original name for LCD sound system. Oh, how are you?
I'm good. I had a bit of a struggle getting here because of major disruption across the network. We apologise for any inconvenience caused. But
I tell you what, with your new show on XFM on Sunday mornings, you'll be causing major disruption across the radio network. Am I
right? Digital delays.
How? So you start 10 till 1 on Sunday tomorrow. Tomorrow. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I think radio is feeling great because nothing really has happened in radio in the last sort of 40 years. It's really needed a shot in the arm for quite some time.
Yeah. What's the last? Who do you see? Who do you see as your precursors? Are you
Marconi?
Yeah. Well, Stuart Marconi.
No, the inventor of the radio.
Yeah.
Finally, people are going to find a use for his invention.
Do you think you're going to change radio? Do you think you're going to do for radio what Bruno Brooks always threatened to do?
What did Bruno Brooks threaten to do? I mean, given the history of BBC radio presenters at the minute,
let's not start.
It's a poison chalice.
I don't. Well, just
not Brooks, surely.
No. So who's your favourite, Brooks, or who your influences on radio? Brooks, obviously.
Brooks, Bates,
Goodyear,
Mayo.
I
think Mayo has really stood the test of time and has sort of reinvented
which is odd,
himself.
Considering Mayo doesn't stand the test of time, does it? Once you've opened that cap.
There you go. I didn't realise the banter was this high level.
Are you worried about Sunday now?
Alice are going to have to step up our game.
I know. So what have you got? Should we ask what you've got planned? What have you got planned? Also, should we just discuss that you're doing this with Ellis James?
Yeah, famous actor, thespian, Ellis James.
Who's currently playing an 18-year-old.
Yes, even though he's in his late 40s. And that has meant that Ellis has been absent for rather a large amount of the preparation.
Oh, dear.
Because he's like had, he was filming, I think today, at 7 a.m. in Dartmoor.
In Dartmoor?
Yeah.
That's where I'm from.
So,
do they know it's wet?
I think they might have had an inkling.
Yeah.
But, so we've got all kinds of fun planned. We've got some features that I'm very excited about. We've got sort of like a text-in a thon, which we haven't got a name for that feature yet. Which is
that's fine. We've been receiving texts for over a year without a name for the feature. And Neil loves to name features.
What do you call it?
Text us now.
Text us now.
We should call it "We're Feeling Lonely." Just to give us some company.
We've got a quiz where me and Ellis battle for a free play.
Oh, yeah.
And that's called Winner Plays On.
Oh.
Do you get it?
Yeah, we've got that, actually. We're doing that today.
Oh.
So that's awkward.
Josh Widdicombe.
XFM. The American Authors on XFM. This is me, Josh Widdicombe, joined by John Robbins. There we go. I've set Neil the challenge of 3 sound effects during the show, and they all have to fit. And I would argue that
was good.
Yeah, that was good. Shall we have a replay of that? Joined by John Robbins?
Oh, I feel like I'm being heralded by a troubadour.
Either that or you're on like an old 90s computer game and you've just like opened a box and it's got an extra life
or leveled up. Turrican.
Do you know what you've done wrong there, Neil, though? I will allow that, but if I'm going to allow it to justify it, every time I say the words, say his name, you will need the full name, you need the sound effect. So if I said John Robbins... What I like is the idea of people tuning in 20 minutes not having heard that and then just look, oh, John Robbins is got a bit big for his boots. Now, John, that doesn't count. The things we're talking about this morning, anything weird you've received in a card or given in a card or written in a card?
Yeah, I've actually got a photo of this.
Great radio.
I think it's, which I will now describe.
Sunday mornings on XFM are going to be very visual.
So I was doing gigs out in Australia in, where was it? It was Adelaide. And one day it was quite a sort of quiet crowd, but one person...
Pretty textbook for your gigs.
Oh, God. Well, just wait until you see me in Bath tonight. There are going to be 6 pretty happy people. So the crowd were quite quiet, and there was this one guy who was just laughing, like, really loud.
Yeah.
To the extent to which it became quite disruptive. So I sort of mentioned it.
Did you say, can you keep it down?
Well, you know when someone is laughing too loud, as if they're kind of trying to G everyone else up, and then everyone else just gets annoyed.
Like kind of, when Stuart Pearce scored that penalty in Euro 96.
Right.
And he tried to G up the whole, come on! That kind of...
Like Gerrard against...
against Milan.
Against Milan.
Yeah.
So I sort of chatted... He was sat at the back by sort of a bit of exchange between us anyway. Next day, I come back to the same venue because we're there every night. Waiting for me is a card.
Yeah.
A full-size Toblerone and an engraved mug.
Oh, my word.
And it was all sort of wrapped with sort
You're
of
an
ribbons
engraved mug,
on.
mate.
And the mug said, "John Robbins, have a great happy Easter from your friend Darren." And I opened the card, and the card said something equally insane.
Yeah.
And it turned out this gentleman had taken a shine to me, and in a rather insane fashion had decided that the best way to signal his appreciation was to get me an engraved mug.
So what was on the mug? Just John Robbins, have a happy Easter.
Have a great happy Easter.
Was it Easter?
I think Easter had passed.
Wow.
So it was April.
So did you respond in any way?
Well, the thing was, in the card, he said, "Please send me lots of pics," but then didn't leave his address. So I felt
You weren't going to send him pics, though.
Well, no, but like I thought I might send him a thank you for the engraved mug and Toblerone and card.
So do you have the mug?
Yeah, I've still got it home. I drink from it most days. I'll try and find you a photo.
Wow. And did you eat the Toblerone?
Oh, yeah.
Were you not worried it would
Absolutely
be kind of tampered with?
No, it was still shop sealed. There could have been no tampering.
Oh, I've never received anything like that, I don't think.
You must have had. I once had I had a routine about buying Lambrini in an offie, and I was once left a huge germ of Lambrini.
Yeah, well, that's a good one, because I've got a routine about homemade jam. I've received at least 7 or 8 jars of homemade jam.
We should start writing material about bullion and sort of rare coins.
I stand against bullying, actually, mate. I think it.
You are?
But I don't like online bullying or bullying in the schoolyard.
Oh, my God. Can someone get me Ellis on the line? He needs to up it.
So, if you've got any tweets on either bullying or on things you've received in a card, things you've written in a card, worst thing you've written in a card, I think that's the way I want to go with this, because people must have written some cringeworthy things. I'm not going to go with it.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
The Gorillas on XFM, and this is Josh Widdicombe. Sorry, still a bit croaky there. Joined by John Robbins. Hello. And now it is time for not John Robbins, but our producer Neil to shine. It is when the reins are handed over to you, Neil, not just to press the buttons, but to talk.
Okay. This week's Neil of Fortune, John, comes to you.
Okay, I'm very excited by all this.
So this is where I make a game for the guest.
Right.
So you've got 3 options as to which game you want to play.
Yeah.
Always very good.
Game number 1. I don't have a title. I apologise. But basically, you are named John.
John Robbins has never looked so angry in his life.
You can't have a title. That's the whole point of a game show, surely.
Move along. You are named John.
Oh no, let's not move along. well, let's come up with a title once you come across.
Yeah, we'll come up with a title for it.
Okay. You're called John. Your new co-host on XFM on Sunday mornings at 10 is Ellis James. Those 2 names combined make John Ellis, sadly now deceased. He was a Rochdale hairdresser, newsagent, and one of the United Kingdom's executioners between 1901 and 1924.
Someone's got Google.
Yep.
Or Wikipedia, yeah, I was going to say.
So, John, I have 1 question on haircuts, 1 question on newsagents, and 1 question on executions.
Well, this is cheating, really, because I'm the world expert on haircuts, as you can see. from my...
Oh, very nice, yeah.
Well, this is good because for every one you get wrong, we take a snippet of your hair.
Oh, well, hey, that's not a bad idea, because I do need a haircut. Though you can't see me on the radio, my hair is awful at the minute.
Well, there you go. You've actually won out there, Neil.
Yeah.
That's the most popular... Well, we'll go through the other two, but... So how would this work?
You could call it barber shock.
Ah, yes, there we go.
So,
Excellent idea from John Robbins there.
yeah.
You missed your cue, mate.
I know...
Ah, damn it.
By the way, I know a guy in Adelaide who'd really appreciate those locks of hair.
Game number 2, John but not forgotten.
Oh.
So, John, we all know, and soon the XFM listeners will, that you're obsessed with bombastic novelty musical act Queen,
Right.
who are led by Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Mercury is a chemical element. The Chemical Brothers are much better than Queen.
What?
Can you identify the Chemical Brothers songs
I nearly cursed there on your show.
in this medley?
The Chemical Brothers. Honestly.
I mean, are you happy with that description of Queen?
No, bombastic rock.
Yeah.
Bombastic novelty music act.
That's not true at all, for a start.
They're a novelty music. They're like...
Well, the novelty never wears off. If there
They're
is
like Black
novelty.
Lace, aren't they?
I'm wearing my Queen t-shirt today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Well,
One
let's
of them.
move
I
on.
got 3 copies of this exact shirt.
Which is a surprise, because I was hoping you were going to wear black lace.
Right, game 3. As we said, your co-host is called Ellis James. So this one's called One L of a Strike. So Ellis, like you, John, has an obsession.
With the miners' strike.
He does have an obsession with the miners' strike.
'Cause he's from Wales.
I was going to say he has an obsession with Swansea City,
Oh, I see, yeah.
who were odds-on championship side for the 2014-15 season. I think we'll all agree. But can you name the Swansea player I bleeped out of these 3 commentary clips?
I think I could probably do that.
I think
Because
you
of,
need the haircut, don't you?
yeah, but I do genuinely need a haircut, so if we could go for... If you could take, like, around 60 to 70 snips of hair in specific places
Very
to quite a
long
high
feature.
standard.
All right, well, which one do you want to go for?
I'll go for barber shock.
Barbershop. Okay,
He has
so-
chosen his game, Neil.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Buddy Holly by Weezer. When you said you were going to play Buddy Holly, Neil, I was actually quite hopeful that XFM had a real sea change in musical policy.
Yeah, I thought I might finally be able to get a bit of Queen on.
No, we're not on
Vetoed.
We're not a novelty station. mate.
Oh, Christmas Day.
Now, producer Neil, we're in the middle of Neil of Fortune, in which you challenge John Robbins to a game called Barber Shock, in which, Neil, take over the mic.
So, John, you are the new co-host of Sunday Mornings 10 till 1 with Ellis James. Those
Good
two
luck
names combined.
Having rubbish Saturday nights from now on, mate.
Ooh.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
Those 2 names combined are called John Ellis, who was a Rochdale hairdresser newsagent and one of the United Kingdom's executioners between 1901 and 1924. I have a question on each of his professions.
Right.
For every one you get wrong, Josh will take a snippet of your hair.
Oh, scary, isn't it?
I feel like an
But it's like the worst Saw sequel ever.
Right.
I want to
number-
play a game.
Ready?
Yeah, question number 1. Easing you in gently, true or false? The red and white pole, often seen outside barbers, signifies a time when they were expected to do bloodletting.
Correct.
Well, it was true or
That's
false,
true.
mate.
True.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, stand down. Question number 2, newsagents. When I worked as a paperboy, the ladies gave me chocolates for my birthday.
This isn't on Wikipedia. He's gone rogue.
Do you know, I forgot to put this in. I forgot to tell you, someone texted me to say they tried to set up a Wikipedia page for Neil, but you weren't allowed. They weren't allowed because you didn't have a big enough profile.
That's fair enough.
I don't have a Wikipedia page. Will I get one now?
You'll get one now.
How will
mate.
that happen?
I'll
You'll
add you
have
to
to, probably have to
XFM.
set it up yourself.
Oh, that's too bleak.
In the middle of my game here, guys.
Sorry.
All right. Question number 2. When I worked as a paperboy, the ladies gave me chocolates for my birthday. Then what happened? I ate them all and was sick in a customer's garden. I spent too long in the shop and someone stole my bike
Why did you spend too long in the shop?
because they gave me the chocolates and I thanked them.
How long did you thank them for?
How did you thank them?
Started playing a herald trumpet sound.
How long did you spend in the shop thanking them?
I can't. There's no backstory yet. Okay.
Well, that one's not true.
They were in fact out of date.
Oh. How out of date? Were they in date when you started thanking them?
Can't give you the details 'cause it might give away the actual correct answer.
Can I ask what sort of chocolates they were?
They were roses.
Right, well, you
should have given them back to Rose then, shouldn't you, eh?
Oh,
Thank you. It's really turned into a kind of pun-slinging morning.
I am going to go for A, you ate them all too quickly and were sick in a customer's garden.
No, incorrect.
Oh no!
I actually spent too long in the shop, came out and someone had stolen my bike.
Oh.
So why were you in the shop, thanking the women?
Yeah, just saying thank you very much, you know. Then I made my bag up, and then I said thank you again, and came out, someone had stolen my bike on my birthday.
And you can't ride chocolates, can you?
But you can eat a bike. Like that French man in the Guinness Book of
Yes, you need
Records.
to take a lock of hair.
Where do you want it from?
The side, ideally, because that's where it's getting longest.
Oh, God, it is long.
It is long. Oh, live!
Oh,
This is
they're
happening.
blunt.
Oh,
They're not
that's...
proper scissors.
I'll mail that to Adelaide straight away.
Oh, God, oh, goodness, it looks grey.
Right,
That's not grey, is
final
it?
question.
That's just strawberry blonde.
Final question. On executions. Brazilian footballer Romario was a clinical executioner of goals.
Oh,
You can't... Executor of goals. You can't be an executioner of goals.
He helped Brazil win the World Cup in what year?
that is the worst question on executioners I've ever heard.
1998.
Oh!
1994.
Christmas. Well, France won in 98, didn't they?
Yeah. Execution of goals. Do you want to go nearer the mic?
Maybe the other side, just to even it up.
Even it up. Just pull your head nearer the mic.
I've just taken a photo. I'll put that on.
Oh,
on
God, I've taken a lot off that side.
So how do I look now? Could you get one of those little mirrors?
You look great. I mean, I might thin it out. That's the next game. Which you have to answer questions, otherwise I come at you with the thinning shears. Well, that was fun, Neil. That's probably your least successful game yet.
Which is the point of it, I think. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I think that is. Very good. I enjoyed that.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Producer Neil is still in the house.
Good morning.
And John Robbins. Here he is.
I'm now waiting for that. So
Yeah.
the next time I hear my name out of this studio, I'm going to be like, guys, where's the trumpets?
Now, John, we are talking about two subjects. Would you prefer... I've got tweets on both. Would you prefer to start with a tweet on sleepover stories or weird things you've written or seen in cards?
Let's go cards.
Cards, okay. This is from an anonymous... This is from someone who hasn't left a name, which is all the more telling when you hear the content. Here we go. In my teens, I sent a Valentine's Day card to a girl I liked. And to ramp up the mystery of the sender, I cut the letters out of newspapers and magazines to craft my message. So as to not give away with the handwriting. Needless to say, she thought it was massively creepy and stalkerish. Didn't realise it looked so much like a ransom note till I saw her open it.
Oh, and the face.
Oh, I mean that... I'd like to know what the message was. I mean, that is disastrous, isn't it? Could you recover from that if someone sent you that?
I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan, and there is a story where he is able to deduce which paper that someone
there
cuts
is.
it out, and that's in The Hound of the Baskervilles.
So would you
So I would begin
As long as it-
deducing where the letters came from as a kind of fun.
what typeface would you be looking for?
New Roman, Arial.
Arial, yeah.
Perhaps.
Classic.
Not wingdings. Do it in wingdings.
If you received a Valentine's card in Wingdings, would you take the trouble to decode it?
What is wingdings? All I know is it doesn't make any seeming sense.
No, it's a completely pointless thing, isn't it?
It must have a nerdy use.
Neil?
Thanks, mate. No idea.
No. If you do ever use Wingdings, do tweet us.
If you can text or tweet in Wingdings,
In Wingdings. Can they do that? Can you text in Wingdings? You can text, can you tweet?
I'm sure someone can.
I think these things come up on my screen in a generic font.
Oh.
But if you want to tweet us in Wingdings, then get out more. Or do it at XFM 83936. Here we go on Sleepover Stories. Dear Hey Josh and producer Neil, I was sleeping at a friend's house, open brackets, who listens to the show, close brackets. Shout out. Do you want to do one of your famous shout outs, Neil?
Good morning, Anonymous.
Correct. And I went I went for a bowel movement.
Wow.
Little did I know, the toilet I used was not operational at the time and could not flush. After much scheming, I decided to steal one of his flower pots to scoop up the matter and move it to a more appropriate toilet. However, when I realised what I was doing, I panicked a little bit and threw it in a bush outside his house. His sister came home just as I finished the clean-up. Lucky. This is from Ryan, pronounced Ryan, from Swindon. Now...
Well, I've got a top tip for a non-flushing toilet.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the sort of panickiest moments of my life. I'm in constant toilet fear.
Yeah.
And you've got to remember that all the flush is doing is putting a litre of water into the bowl. That litre of water can come from anywhere.
Is that right?
Get a bucket and just pour it in.
Is that right?
Yeah, of course. So if the water's ever off, just have a bucket ready, pour it in that old toilet. Sometimes you'll find it does a better job and you won't be using the flush anymore.
Is that what you do now? You're manually flushing?
No, we have a troublesome toilet as well in our flat.
Do you?
Sometimes can take up to 3 flushes.
3 litres? Blimey. That is grim. How do you feel about that, Neil? I feel like I've learned. I don't feel like I'm any further along as a human being, though.
It's a good tip, John. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's the thing about it is a good tip.
Also, sometimes I had to do this at Reading South Street Art Centre the other day. Is just if it doesn't flush, you remove the lid of the cistern and just pull up the ball cock until it fills with more water. No, push the ball cock down, sorry, so it thinks it's not full, and fill it right to the brim, then bang!
I think we've found that you've got an issue.
I do, yeah, I'm a very concerned toiletist.
Well, if you have anything on whether you are on sleepovers, whether you're a concerned toiletist, or the other one, which has really gone, it really isn't there now that the concerned toiletist has been thrown out there. Neil's struggling to find his third sound effect of the day for concerned toiletist. If you had to choose one of your sound effects, Neil, for the phrase concerned toiletist, which would you go for?
I don't.
Don't give us the name, just play it.
Yeah?
I'd go with this one. Oh, I did. Mine's not touch screen. Top left, Neil.
Yes, that's much more fitting.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Here we are, final hour. So still roll call. Producer Neil.
Good morning.
What was that? Is that how you make yourself known?
Yeah.
By playing the start of what was it?
It was Half Moon Run. It will come on in again in a minute.
Oh, they've ruined the surprise. A lot of people have gone, I don't like that song, I'll turn off now. And John Robbins.
Hello.
And Ivo Graham.
Waiting for a sound effect.
No, you haven't got one, mate.
You hear it out of the studio, you hear it in the studio.
Let's just run through the roll call again. Producer Neil.
Good morning.
John Robbins. And Ivo Graham.
Why didn't I get that one?
It's the second time I'm not actually.
Wait, often is, mate. Now, the situation, Ivo. How are you?
I'm confused after
Confused. You said before that the Helicopter by Block Parties are one of your 3 favourite albums. You said
that was an off-air declaration. I would never.
You would never say that publicly.
No, I keep that between myself and a few friends. I like it. I think Silent Alarm by Block Party is one of the best albums of the noughties.
You said ever.
And it's one of my favourite albums ever. I don't think it's one of the best albums ever.
Oh, is there a difference? Do you think there's a
separating the
difference between favourite and
subjective and
best?
the objective.
Yes, I do think there's a difference between favourite and best. Okay, for example, my top 5 films are not necessarily what I think the top 5 greatest films ever are, but they're ones I like the most.
Yeah.
So you can have one of my favourite albums would definitely be Innuendo by Queen.
Yeah,
but I would
obviously
never
you know
expect
that's
to see
novelty
that.
music, no.
Oh,
And I'd say the same about Take Off Your Pants and Jacket by Blink-182. Doesn't make its emotional resonance any less.
No. I don't know Blink-182's oeuvre. Do you like them, John? No.
no, they sort of came in. I was working at Virgin Megastore in around the sort of birth of emo and the height of Ibiza chill. And so Blink-182 was sort of the more sort of...
Don't say emo.
No, but it was kind of... They were like Green Day, but even worse.
Neil.
They're pop punk.
Pop punk or
I
jock
wouldn't
rock.
put
I did a
punk.
week's work experience at Virgin Megastore when I was 15. It was the week because We Want To by Billy at the time came out, and they played that song. Oh, I love that song. Love that song because they played it. Really brought home the freedom of work experience when you get to go to the big city Exeter, have your lunch wherever you want.
I did a little thing on Vintage, the music channel, where
Right.
you have to pick your 10 favourite music videos, and one of them was R.E.M's Imitation of Life, because when I worked at Virgin, it was the only song on the playlist that I didn't find quite abhorrent. So, in my head now, even though I'm not a massive R.E.M. fan, that song for me just is like relief.
Yeah. I remember when I worked at Safeway and they used to play Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. And it didn't create the atmos that was needed when I was, shelving ambient goods.
What's an ambient good?
An ambient good. I mean, obviously Ivo stayed quiet for this because he's never had a proper job, so it's quite...
Hey, my work experience at Knight Frank Rural Consultancy involved some of the worst music choices by any...
What's Knight Frank Rural Consultancy?
It's one of the best estate agents in the southwest.
Did you sell it? I bet you sold a house, didn't you?
No, I didn't sell a house, but I did do quite a lot of the important paperwork in the house selling procedure. I also approved a new shed.
You approved a shed?
Yeah.
On your work experience?
It was brilliant.
I had to polish the DVDs.
Yeah, well,
No, you didn't have to. No one has to do that. That's
I
what
was
they
told
you to do.
Yeah, it wasn't needed.
Nor was
That
the shed. Nor was
I
the
think
shed.
that's the ultimate job for someone who hasn't got a job to do. To go and polish the DVDs. It's like going to get a...
At Virgin, I just imagine you there. Hello, is there anything I could do to help out? My name's Josh. I'm doing a work experience. And then they put you polishing the DVDs, and then you were sat there going, DVDs, God. Sort of interesting, those little sort of discs. I mean, what, that's like CDs. But and then suddenly a whole career path.
Josh Widdicombe.
XFM. Full circle, half moon run. This is Josh Widdicombe. I am joined by producer Neil,
Good morning.
John Robbins,
Good morning.
and Ivo Graham.
And the ladies say,
Now, we are talking about things you shouldn't have written in cards, is one, and we'll start with that, shall we? Or do you want that or a sleepover story?
sleepover.
All right. So speaks the voice of youth.
Love a sleepover.
You love a sleepover?
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah, you love the sound effect.
When was the last time you had a sleepover, Ivo?
Over the Christmas holidays, probably.
With whom?
Oh, just some local mates.
Some local mates.
The local mates.
Yeah.
Tinder.
No, it wasn't Tender or Tinder.
Tinder.
Both.
No, it wasn't organised. Not organised by Tinder, but it was Tender.
So what happened?
We went round to one of the houses, had a few. I'm allowed to advocate drinking a few bevies over the Christmas
Yeah, you
period.
drank responsibly.
Yeah, we drank responsibly. Well, most of us did, and then we all sort of just went to sleep eventually.
It sounds amazing.
So what did you do, like braid each other's hair and stuff?
Braided it out. We just, swapped a few stories.
Talked about boys.
Talked about all genders.
Had a pillow fight. And then got your butlers to fight to the death.
Right, again,
Did you
there's nothing sort
you
of
watch Sweet Valley
class
High?
related about what?
Did you watch Sweet Valley High?
I think you've got a couple of tweets and texts in, Josh.
Don't be silly, you watched Downton Abbey.
Do you know you're
Neil
wearing
is my like et tu, like that's a bad reference to try and pretend you're not posh. Make a Shakespeare reference. Did we watch Downton Abbey? I've never seen it.
Have you seen Sweet Valley High?
No idea what that is.
Brilliant. I love coming up with a 90s reference. It just goes over Ivo's head.
Yeah, you had to do your every show Robson and Jerome reference, which goes over my head.
You remember Robson and Jerome, don't you?
Big time.
Before his time. If you've ever tried explaining to someone who Robson and Jerome are, it sounds absolutely mental that they had a career.
Yeah, you'd have to say it's the guy out of Game of Thrones and the guy out of The Walking Dead, which you would never have thought. No, he's not in The Walking Dead. Oh, that's Egg off This Life.
Exactly.
Do you remember This Life, Ivo?
No,
Do you remember Egg?
no, not the food stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
Still going. Now, here we go. Producer Neil's pointed as if to say, stop bullying Ivo. Now, here's a sleepover story. And also, the name at the end, I'm hoping it is the real one, because it's a real twist. I was 12, I was staying over at a friend's house for the first time. My friend had bunk beds. However, have you got bunk beds?
No.
Okay. My friend had bunk beds. However, the bunk beds seemed to be narrower than the single bed at home. During the night, I fell out of the top bunk and broke my nose. Not knowing the house layout, not knowing the house layout, I struggled to find the light switch, so began to feel the walls to find it. I couldn't find it, so I just felt my way to the bathroom. However, the outcome of my actions were apparent in the morning, when my friends woke us all up screaming hysterically as I'd managed to smear a trail of blood all around the bedroom walls.
Oh dear.
Has that ever happened at one of your sleepovers?
No.
This is because it is from Andy Peters.
Remember him?
Which gives a whole new image to the idea of a 12-year-old Andy Peters.
How he came up with the cube.
I got Andy Peters. My friend Craig made a joke on Facebook a couple of weeks ago about how it was always his birthday wish to get a birthday message from Andy Peters. So I tweeted Andy Peters saying, "Would you say hello to my friend Craig?" And he replied.
Did he?
He said, "Happy birthday, Craig."
What a nice guy.
Time on his hands.
What?
Time on his hands.
He's one of the most powerful people in TV now, isn't he?
He is, isn't he? Yeah, I shouldn't have slagged him off, but it's good of him to tweet into the show. I'm guessing it's not the Andy Peters, particularly because it's spelled Andy with a Y.
What is the difference between a sleepover and a party? Because I've realised I was just talking about a party.
No, just before the next song, here's a card one. I spelt my wife's name wrong twice on cards. Hashtag doghouse. Excellent use of hashtag.
Oh no. Is that different cards? Not she's got the same. She's not like JJ Okocha or something with the same.
Oh no, it's not that she's not Jar Jar Gabor.
That's a female version of what I was going for.
Yeah. So should we play the Arctic Monkeys while Ivo considers a sleepover?
Bootros Garley.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
Noel Gallagher and his high-flying birds on XFM.
Not so high-flying anymore. Just a bit of music satire.
That is Ivo Graham.
Hello.
And John Robbins is here.
Ahoy.
And Neil.
Good morning.
There we are. Now, often, well, not often now, James Acaster, the Scrape Master as he was once dubbed, is now our agony aunt. He can't, he's away this week, so you're going to have to shoulder the agony, Ivo.
Why do we not all do it together? I'm not sure I'm...
No, because you've quite literally filled the spot that he would have been in.
Right,
That
okay.
is his seat, so...
Hit me with the
Agony
dilemma.
Uncle. Here we go. Agony Ivo.
It's not about sleepovers, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Dear James.
Already he's lost me.
Dear Ivo and Josh and John Robbins, I've got a bit of a weird crush that's been reignited since hearing your offering advice like Dear Deirdre on the show.
Yes.
I'm in love with Deirdre herself. Every day going to school, me and my mates would buy The Sun, and while they were getting their kicks from page 3, I wanted to just get to the advice column to see her face and lovely teeth shining out from the page at me. I would write to her, I would write to her, but she must get so many letters and she would no doubt think I was just having a laugh. She's the only older woman I've ever had a thing for. What makes her so special to me? How can I let her know about my feelings? Thanks, Ben. Open brackets, not my name, but a name I've always liked. Close brackets.
What a lovely touch. Does Deirdre exist?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's real.
Oh, I thought she was made up.
Well, what's he actually asking? Because he said, why do I like her so much?
No, he's saying, how do I...
We can't furnish him with that information.
Well, there's two questions. What makes her so special to me? And how can I let her know about my feelings?
I've got to be careful because if I give too good advice, then Ben might fall in love with me. Evidently, he likes moral authority. That's what he likes, and so.
Do you think that's what it is? It's the helping shoulder.
It's someone who's got a
helping hand or the shoulder to cry.
Oh, sorry.
It's very rare the shoulder itself takes an active role.
If someone always knew the answer to any question, emotionally or life-wise, you would want to be with that person because
for the quizzing alone,
you'd never have a problem again.
Yeah, that is true.
I genuinely didn't. I thought she was just a made-up. I thought most of those readers, people who send sort of things into magazines and newspapers, was just sort of fake, like the Ladies' Confessions in Nuts magazine.
There's a Ladies' Confessions in Nuts magazine.
Ladies send in sexy
That could
stories.
be real. You've got nothing to prove it's not.
Yeah, well, I did work experience at NME, and the nuts offices were next door, and I was told on good authority on the nuts work experience boys, because we used to have lunch together, and swap stories from the Lad Mag versus Music field, that no one ever won the £20 for best ladies confession, and that the sexy secretary Lou was just a woman off the street.
That's just him gossiping. You can't prove that.
This is pure gossip, but when I did work experience at 442 magazine.
So £20 per question, cash for questions. Do you get credit when you
let me tell you
sorry.
this, Ivo. I got asked to provide a letter for the letters page, and I wrote it, and I won Letter of the Month, which entitled me to a football-shaped alarm clock.
Brilliant.
And they said they couldn't give it to me because I was working there at the time.
What was your letter about?
It was about foreign owners in the Premier League.
Amazing.
So there you go. That's a little bit of how publishing works.
I once proposed to
Neil would like to say...
Obviously, how are we going to help Ben?
Sorry.
Let's get back to point.
Yeah, let's get back. So how can I let her know about my feelings, Ivo?
Well, couldn't he write to Deirdre and not address her personally, but say I'm attracted to an older woman. She's a friend of my mum's, perhaps, and she's always given me good advice, but I don't know anything about what she's really like. Just make it very clear, I think.
Could he say, I'm in love with Claire Rayner? And send that to Deirdre, because it's essentially the same.
Is she another agony aunt?
Yeah.
Doesn't know Claire Rayner.
Who does Claire Rayner aunt for?
I think Claire Rayner died a few years ago.
Did she?
Goodness me. Well, cheers for that, John. You've really picked things up.
Could we have a moment's silence to remember Claire Rayner?
There we go. Now, that was respectful. So, Ivo.
I don't know.
I think that's good advice. I think that's the best advice we've had.
You want to try and address it within the medium which is...
I think you've done...
If you wrote to the Sun, it's the Sun, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you wrote to the Sun, I want to write to Deirdre, but not like that.
I tell you what, because it's the Sun, Ben, here's my advice. Don't write to her, but maybe just say it into an answer phone. She'll be listening anyway.
Oh, yes. A minute's silence and some satire. What a link.
I think that has drawn a line under it. If you have any issues that you want James or Ivo...
I'll come back next week.
Yeah.
Knowing how easily people fall in love with people in this position. They'll be queuing around the block. I'll be hearing that sound effect a lot more.
If you have any queries, or if you want to write in yourself, Ivo, what's the method, Neil?
The website, which I will now tweet a link to.
There you go.
Or just tweet me directly. That's Ivo Graham.
Josh Widdicombe.
Bowls on XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe, producer Neil.
Good morning.
John Robbins. Hello. Ivo Graham.
Dreading. Every time. I just dread that.
Now, I promised before the break the song, that Ivo would tell us a sleepover story he's finally thought of.
But what do you mean he's finally thought? I haven't been racking my brains. This has haunted me for about 15 years.
Okay, well, hit us.
I can't remember when it was exactly. I think I was about 8. Sleepover at 8, that's fine.
Yeah.
A sleepover at my friend Tom Gerard's house, all boys. And I was kicked out early because when my mum went to come pick me up because I threw an apple at Tom during a game of German Spotlight.
So what is German Spotlight? I don't know German Spotlight, but I didn't.
It's like a sort of a wide game you play in the dark. Like
a wide?
Isn't it when your family tree gets searched for people who were sympathetic to the Nazis?
And then if you find someone, you throw an apple at them.
That was the main punishment used at Nuremberg.
This is what I thought of the Nazis.
No, I must stress on air that Tom Gerard's family have no known links to any historical fascist party, but they do organise a cracking sleepover.
So what?
It's like hide and seek, 40-40. Where you're sort of trying to hide in a garden and run to a base.
Do you remember 2020?
Not 2020 cricket or vision. 40-40.
2020 you drink it when you were a teenager.
Oh, I saw it. But
we weren't drinking. There was no alcohol.
But what's 40-40? What does the numbers mean?
Someone's guarding a base, and a load of people go and hide, and then you've got to try and get to the base without being, touched, for want of a better word.
What's 40-40?
He counts to 40 while you count, and then he shouts 40-40, ready or not, or something. There are lots of
Only
variations.
in one of your childhood houses would you have the room to guard a base and everyone else hide.
In a local field, publicly owned. Okay? With a copse. It's all fine. And more pertinently, an apple tree. Game was going rather boringly. Tom was guarding his base a bit too... The rules 40-40 is you've got to obviously guard the base, but also you should leave a bit of room to let people have a go. If you just sit on it all night, then no fun will be had.
Yeah.
And he was being very petty. So I crept up, and I thought it'd be quite funny to throw an apple at him.
Where did you source the apple?
There was a tree. I hadn't brought my own supply just in case.
In your orchard, I imagine.
No, we don't have an orchard, Josh.
I'm guessing this wasn't the first time cocks were involved in your parties.
He means the apple bun.
Yeah,
That's making very
What? Missed that completely. But what's the cock's got to do with it?
Cox is apples, mate.
It's referring to the breed of apple.
Breed. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hit him in the face, and he cried, and his dad was summoned. And he said, well, if people are going to start throwing apples, then I remember him just looking so disappointed.
And what did your mum say?
Well, my mum couldn't really, but she was quite annoyed. She had to get out of bed at about 11 to...
You were playing in a field at 11 p.m?
Yeah, sleepover.
Was it floodlit?
No. The whole point is that the person with the guarding the base has a torch. That's why it's German
bring
spotlight.
that out.
But his torch wasn't enough to save him from my cock.
Your apple.
Should we play a song?
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Justice and Simeon against each other, as always.
When will those two kiss and make up?
We come to the end of the show, and as a thank you for coming in, you can plug what you like. Shall we start with you, Neil? Would you like to plug anything?
What's going on this week? Oh, Maz on Communion Presents Sunday nights at 10, who I also produce. He has Marcus Mumford co-hosting this week.
Wow.
Kind of big deal. And
got Ivo Graham here, mate.
Yeah, come on. And I'm doing so.
And this show will be available in podcast on Tuesday.
Yes, good. On that, Neil, do you use any of your sound effects on his show?
No.
So what is this show where you use your box of tricks?
Just other shows I look after, mate.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. Remember, you've still got yet one more in.
I know.
Yeah, and Ivo.
I'm going to do a proper plug this time. I'm doing the Soho Theatre at the end of the month for 3 days.
That's too long.
It is a bit long, isn't it?
I'd just do an hour, mate.
Well, I think I can fill that 72-hour show.
So when's your show?
It starts at 9:15 p.m. on Thursday, and it finishes at 10:15 p.m. on Saturday.
Oh.
And I mean, it's 9:15 for 3 nights.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying the idea of it being a 3-day
Extravaganza.
epic. But yes, but please, that'd be great if some people came to that.
It's a great show. Go and see it.
Genuinely quite proud of some bits of it.
Genuinely quite proud of some bits of it. And anything else? No?
Oh, that's it. Oh, and German Spotlight. What a game.
Now, shall I? You can headline this bit, John, because you're plugged.
Headline.
What? That's fine, isn't it?
Okay.
I'll just do some plugging.
I think of it like a music
tonight-
festival where I've just headlined and John's like the DJ for the ravers. So I've
What? Sorry?
The DJ, you know, you get a DJ at the end of the festival.
That's awful at comedy clubs when there's a nightclub on afterwards and you're overrunning and there's just this sort of walking steroid in the desk with all this stuff, like really grumpy with a pint of Stella.
What have you done there, Neil?
It's all right, Bill.
13th of March.
There we go. Oh, that was exciting.
Sorry about the ads cutting in there. I'm going to kill someone.
Oh. I'd maybe just have a word with the engineer.
That will be used in evidence against Neil. So the ads, we mistakenly played the ads. We couldn't stop them. We thought it was a sound effect, but unless your final sound effect was really audacious and it was 2 minutes of adverts. So I was plugging. I am in Southport tonight for the first night for the second leg of the tour.
As am I.
With Ivo's support, but do come along. And finally, John.
So, 2 things from me. If you happen to be in Bath this evening, I'm doing my tour show at the Rondo Theatre, which would be pleasurable to see you there. But mainly, me and Ellis's show tomorrow, we've got a few things we'd like your listeners to chip in with for our first show. So our text question is, what has your ex gone on to do that made you regret splitting up with them? And or something they've gone on to do that's made you glad they've that you split up with them, so maybe they've gone on to
quite
be a bank robber.
bitter show that you're putting together.
Or they've become a famous superstar, and you thought, if only I'd held on through those years of couch sitting and watching Netflix and stuff. And also we have a feature called Textual Healing, not in any way similar to Josh's Agony Aunt section, but in essence exactly the same. But with a better name, I think.
Yes.
So if you have a lifestyle problem that you want me and Ellis to sort out, then do email in, or Facebook or Twitter. And if you could tweet those things to my Twitter account, which is @NomadicReverie, because John Robbins was taken. But if you do search John Robbins, then
I'll put a link
come
up.
That'd be great. Thanks very much.
Are we all happy?
No.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.